All right, guys. Good morning. It's Star Wars Galaxy of Yeti coming to you. We got some interesting stuff. We got the new Rex for the new Galactic Legends dropping last night, and essentially, essentially, they're pretty lopsided. They're pretty lopsided. We've got them all in. I mean, I'm not super angry or anything like that. I'm. It's one of those ones like I'm like your parents. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed at how incredibly lopsided they are. Once again, we know what we're getting with Jedi Luke. Jedi Luke is he's he's got two heroes journeys, three legendaries, two marquees, a raid character. I mean, it's night and day, right? He's incredibly gated and get locked, just incredibly frustratingly difficult to get. I'm going to go ahead and say Jedi Master Luke is the hardest character that CG will ever release in terms of to get him, will be the hardest character CG ever releases ever to get, unless he later becomes a requirement for something, because then that'll just be redonkulous. Anyway, so we can basically all agree. I'll show that right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me get to my full emulator screen here. There. So as you can see, the full Rex are in. The only really bad character, and even then, Leia does have some uses, especially in 3v3, because she can do some real damage. With the stealth, she's a bit of an annoying character. So Leia's not trash, but like she's not good. You know what I mean? So that's like the worst character I think they've got here. I think Lando, being a rebel fighter, actually has some really good use with Mon Mothma. And I've been calling out wigs for a long time. I thought the way that the way that the bomber was guaranteed to be in there. I thought Wedge and Biggs were really there because Biggs was Luke's best friend. Although Rambam kept going, but he's dead. He died. He died in New Hope. Yeah, he did, but he was still the reason why Luke was so gung-ho to get into the rebellion. And then Wedge, he was there for it all, right? Like, he made it through everything alive. He was just this guy in the background. So those two totally make sense to me. Leia totally makes sense. I've been calling out Leia as one of these Rex for forever. I'm a little bit surprised, to put it mildly. I'm a little bit surprised that Lando and Hermit are the others, because those are kind of gimmies, right? I mean, they want them at Relic 5 instead of like Relic 3, but it's kind of interesting. So like CG's throwing a bone here. I'm thinking this is pretty clear. CG wants people to have multiple Galactic Legends. Like, it's very, very clear to me that this is sort of what they're working at. They're going to want us to eventually have all four, and I think that's what's the fact that they're requiring four fleets is going to force us to do, because we're going to eventually need to have both the Raddus and the Finalizer if we want to be really effective. This is kind of an interesting twist that they've made. I knew that the next 5 that they were going to drop weren't going to be super, super difficult because of how ridiculous the first 2 sets of requirements for Jedi Master Luke are. So let's go have a look at Palpatine. Palpatine dropped, and here's the thing. Here's where it suddenly got some good usability, right? Stark and Veers are fantastic characters for that Troopers team. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I really like those Rex. I was calling out Tarkin. I thought Tarkin was definitely going to be one of those. I didn't see Thrawn coming. So with Thrawn, they give you a second legendary character. The problem is it's literally the third easiest character to get. This is the character that everybody has. And when I'm looking down and I'm looking at these Rex, I mean, these are like literally, I have put no work into half of these characters, and here's the craziest bit, right? That's a hyperdrive character. I mean, this one was so easy to get 7 stars. I fucked around and accidentally got it, and then I had so many shards of him. I started him up to 7, so I get the shard shop currency. Like, that's pretty easy. A hyperdrive character right here. I think Tarkin's a hyperdrive character as well. So it's one of those. There's 5 hyperdrive bundle characters in there, which is kind of crazy, right? And if you get the hyperdrive bundle, you can immediately get Palpatine and Thrawn. So they've gone and they've made Sith Eternal Emperor the easiest to achieve Galactic Legend by far. Like, just by far. You're only really going to have to farm up from scratch Piet and Krennic. I'm thinking about getting that Krennic pack just for when I eventually get Sith Eternal Emperor, because I looked at kind of where I'm at, and I'm like, I've got a lot of the big ones. I have to add some relic levels there. I have to add some relic levels there. I really want Dooku's relic. Like, Dooku is one of those guys. When I finished Jedi Master Luke, I was going to immediately relic, and I really want to get Mara and get Marauder relic. So these are two relics that I really, really want, and then that will put me at 6 of the requirements already achieved. So this is kind of a funny spot, because now I'm like, wow, I'm not that far from Sith Eternal Emperor. You know, I'm just not that far, because it's such an easy path. And here's where it's really going to blow your brains out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. But man, you got to understand. So somebody on the event server, a guy called Pilgrim, he crunched the numbers, right? He crunched the numbers, and he's showing the gear disparity between these two. So it's staggering amount, right? So so if you do not have Jedi Knight Luke, this is, I mean, it's all right. So here we go. Sith Eternal Emperor. These are the gear pieces you need to achieve Sith Eternal Emperor to start unlock. And once again, full thanks to Pilgrim at the SWGO events Discord for breaking this down. I didn't do the work myself. I didn't, double triple check it. I don't, this is his call. This is what he sees. And so, whoops, wrong channel. There we go. So here we go. This is what we're looking at. So for Carbante, you're looking at 2,400 Carbante. I mean, that's a lot of Carbante. But this is all very similar to Kylo. This is not too bad. So you've got salvage stun cuffs, 1,800. What's good here? You got 1,250 on the stun guns. The Mark V butt plugs, they're 1,050. Shock prod, you got 950. Like, there's, it's one of those, like 650 on the microwave ovens, the Mark 7s. Golden eyeballs are fully represented here. You got 1,300 needing of that, and 1,200 of the basically the challenge part of the golden eyeball. I mean, these are they're solid recs, right? Like, you don't have to, like, you're not like, ooh, that's super easy. But now let's compare it to Jedi Master Luke, including the JKL, and here we go. 4,450 on Carbante, 4,450, 2,580 on the golden eyeball challenge gear. You got 2,450 on stun guns. Coming down here, 2,400 on the golden eyeball pieces that aren't the challenge gear. You got 2,400, so 600 more stun cuffs. I mean, it's just one of those ones. Shock prods from 950 to 1,600, ladies and gentlemen, 1,600. Coming down here, looking at Mark V droid collars, 1,300 on those butt plugs. I mean, it's nuts. Those Mark IV back to gels, 1,250. Good luck, guys. Good luck. The Mark 7, the microwave dinners, microwave ovens, 1,000 comparatively to 600. I mean, look at that, 1,000, 1,100 on the Kyrotech computers. I mean, this is just nuts. This is nuts. It's like, it's not double, but it's damn near. And it's one of these, it's really frustrating. So you've got 2 heroes' journeys, 3 legendaries, 2 marquees, the ship, all of that. And then you go, oh yeah, and by the way, we need a lot more gear to get this character. So I'm just going to say this right now. Sith Eternal Emperor is going to be 100%, 100% the easiest Galactic Legend ever given to you in this game. It's never going to be an easier Galactic Legend. The question is what will his usability be? And I got to tell you, with the gear investment and the character investment and the get locking and all that, Jedi Master Luke is going to have to be above and beyond the best Galactic Legend in the game, just to make it worthwhile. Like otherwise, it's going to be Rey Mark II, or everybody feels kind of dicked. But here, I mean, granted, people are going to keep making that argument, but everything you get for Luke is good. True, but it's so much more difficult to get. And here's the funniest part. So what you have to do is you have to step outside your account and look at other people's account and say, okay, so say somebody doesn't have, Chewbacca, it doesn't have the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that, and he's like, man, I really want Jedi Master Luke. Well, he has to go first achieve those two characters and then gear them up and do all that. And that's fine. Like, I'm not saying that getting those characters is bad or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you're a newer player, and you just started playing this game, you bought your Hyperdrive bundle, you're feeling pretty happy about everything, and you hear, oh, Grandmaster Luke, yeah, I'd like to have that character. And you go and you check his recs, and you're just like, what the fuck? Because, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. It's so staggeringly high. And it's sort of like Rey was harder to get, harder to gear, in my opinion, because you're gearing more bloat. And then she's not as good as Kylo. And then you look at, I mean, obviously, Galactic Legend still a fantastic character, but it's not as good as Kylo. And now you look at Sith Eternal Emperor, and the question is this going to be, how usable is he going to be comparatively to the other Galactic Legends? Obviously, he's still going to be a fantastic character because he's Galactic Legend, still going to have that crazy power level. The question is, will he be able to beat all the other Galactic Legends? Will it be, something like that? Or will you have to, like, do a Rey plus Titans team like you do now, Rey with the Jedi, with Jedi Luke and JKR and General Skywalker and General Kenobi, and you have to try to run down Kylo that way? Is that going to be how it's going to be for Sith Eternal Emperor? And the question is, will it steal characters that are necessary for, say, like the Rey counter? So you're losing maybe Piet and Vader from your Rey counter, or you're losing Vader from your Rey counter, so suddenly you don't have a Rey counter. It's a very weird situation. I will say this right now. If you are free to play, if you are wanting to keep playing this game, if you're in this realm, do yourself a favor, go for Sith Eternal Emperor. He is the easiest thing you're ever going to get. This game, I don't think, is ever going to kick out an easier Galactic Legend to achieve. So if you need one and you didn't know who to go for, and you're looking at Kylo, and don't get me wrong, Kylo's fantastic, but you don't have your First Order already built up. If you don't have that, you're so time-locked. Whereas this, I mean, you're not going to have a bunch of hard nodes that you're going to need to farm for a long time for this character. I mean, I'm in this weird spot where I'm kind of like, ooh, I was going to fill in some gaps in my account after Jedi Luke, but now I'm thinking, man, Sith Eternal Emperor is going to be pretty easy to get. Like, pretty easy. And it's going to include some characters that I already wanted to relic up. I'm like, man, should I just go Galactic Legend and then into another Galactic Legend? Is that what's going to happen here? And because it has the TIE bomber, it would make my whole Empire fleet better. I'll finally put some materials and stuff into my Thrawn cap ship. Like there's a lot to consider that way. But man, I've never anticipated the gear needs would be so lopsided as well. That's the crazy thing. Like, in my head, I was like, oh, well, but they're going to be spending, like, the same gear, and they're not going to be getting the same amount of characters that are as good, and all this. And I was kind of weighing it out that way and trying to make my peace with the fact that they've made Jedi Master Luke so bloody difficult to get. And then you look at the gear requirements, and it's night and day. It's night and day. I mean, I can't imagine they'll ever release in the history of this, in the future of this game, I can't imagine they'll ever release something as difficult as Jedi Master Luke, unless Jedi Master Luke is a requirement for something. That's the only thing I can think. It's just staggering. I still can't imagine it. It's 2400 Carbante to 4450 Carbante. 4450. It's over 2,000 more. It's just, the fuck. It's just, I stay, stun guns. An extra 1,200 more stun guns, 600 more stun cuffs, 650 more Cairo shock prods. 600 more of the Cairo computers. I've never experienced anything like that. I don't know why this is going to happen. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think about this in the comment section down below. Do you think this is fair? Do you think this is right? Are you excited that you're going to be able to get Sith Eternal Emperor so easily? Does this change your mind on who you're going to go for? Let me know all about what you're thinking under there, and do leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you think. As always, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for future videos. We're always doing new stuff. If you haven't checked out our latest episode of Strat Chat, we did one last night with Rambam. It was like an hour and so minutes. It's something beautiful to listen to when you're doing something in the background. We go through the new Galactic Legend Recs. We talk about the 2 new ship zone options. We talk about some interesting GAC stuff, like talking about his experiences in GAC with the kind of account that he's got. And we're going to be coming out with a new episode of Strat Chat soon. We do have a couple of guests lined up, so I'm looking forward to making those nice discussions for you with you guys to consume. As always, you guys have a good one.